ways to start a fire. Fire is basically the creation of energy, and you've got a couple different examples here. Conventional with a lighter, you can use solar energy. Basically, you're making a magnifying glass. I thought it was pretty cool. You could start a fire with water. So a clear bottle will do that. You fill it up, you try to get it in a proper position with the sun, you hold it there long enough, and it'll create a white hot spot. You get it on some tinder, and it'll start to flame up. A water bottle like this, it can be plastic, preferred glass. If you leave plastic in the sun for too long, it'll suck the petroleums out of the plastic itself, and it can make you sick. But in a survival situation, this is an easy way to purify water. Put it in glass, let it sit out in the sun, the ultraviolet rays. After 2 days, will basically get rid of all the bacteria and the viruses in it. You'll still have to filter out the solids, but you won't have the bacteria that could possibly get you sick and cause issues later on.
Do you leave the lid on or off?
On,
okay.
You want to keep it all enclosed. It takes about 2 days for it to get the germs out. And kind of an example, when I was younger, I was always in the creeks. I was always out playing in the mud. I'd come home and my mom would have me in the backyard with the hose, washing me off before I was even allowed to come in the house. But when I was out fishing, you know, it wouldn't be a big deal to reach down with a cup, take a drink out of what you thought was crystal clear water. You get further upstream and all of a sudden there's a dead raccoon laying in the water that's now washing downstream to you. And that was about the last time I ever did. I didn't get sick, thankfully, but the possibility was there. You could have got really sick from the bacteria of the dead animal. Here will be an example of electricity to use a fire. Here we have magnesium and a spark. This would be an example of high pressure energy, kind of like a diesel motor. And then we'll have a demonstration on an exothermic chemical reaction to create a fire. To have a fire, you need some sort of igniter, some sort of fuel for it to work on. It can be natural or man-made. This guy right here is called chaga, C-H-A-G-A. It's found primarily on the birch tree. It's been said that it'll be on elm and a couple others. I've never found it on anything but a birch tree. And you can tell a birch tree, you know, those big white beautiful trees with the paper bark on them, those are birch trees. And you can identify chaga with the burned exterior. It's real obvious where the tree becomes damaged or you lose a branch or something like that. The potential for chaga to grow is there. And like I said, it looks like a burned exterior. You open it up and you've got this orange cork-like material inside once you dry it out. Chaga makes an excellent tea. It was first recorded in the 16th century, probably before then, in Siberia. It was used as medicinal purposes for anti-inflammatories. What are some other uses? Anti-inflammatories. It's high in vitamins and minerals, very mineral rich. It's been shown to have tumor and cancer-causing agents. It was used as a tea. I drink it as tea.
So it grows on a birch tree?
On a birch tree, yes.
But then where does it grow? Like on the side? Like
It'll
a
grow
moss?
wherever it was damaged. So you'll have the birch tree and it'll be like this and you just hack it off.
Oh,
and
okay.
the way to identify is the orange interior and the tree you get it off of. Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
So when the tree is damaged, then it's like us having growing a pus.
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly. It's a fungus, a mushroom.
Oh, okay.
And it'll grow on there. It also makes a very good fire starter.
Okay, cool.
It's one of the best natural fire starters there are. You can use other things, other funguses, the fluff from cattails or dandelions or other sort of funguses. But this is one of the only ones that grow in nature that'll work well with a fire piston. Okay. Other things you'll need is a char cloth, and that's just 100% cotton, basically cooked but not burned. What I use most of the time in any of my packs when I go camping for tinder are just cotton balls soaked in Vaseline. You can carry months worth of fire starters in a very small package, very light. It's got the petroleum jelly or Vaseline on it, so it's basically waterproof. And you can just open it up and get a spark on it.
So what is this?
100% cotton balls and Vaseline or petroleum jelly.
So you put the Vaseline in it?
Yep. Just what I do is I'll turn the bag inside out, and I will get a big glob of Vaseline in there. Just drop some cotton balls in it and just start rubbing it around so it gets a nice good coat on it. Okay. And this stuff works great in wet weather or anything.
Okay.
to that example. This would not work with a fire piston. You would have to use the chaga and then transfer it over to the tinder. And like I said, this is going to be an example of an exothermic chemical reaction. So the first one, we all know what this guy is here. This is just a Bic lighter. I have it in every single one of my cars and every one of my backpacks, be it a day pack, a weekend pack, or a long distance type pack. They're cheap. They're easy to use with one hand, which comes in very handy in certain situations. And yeah, they're cheap.
How do you prevent it from combusting, like if you leave it in your knapsack and stuff?
It never happens. Well, I imagine if you heat it up to the point where it would reach its boil point, it would happen, but this is a great little thing. It's easy to use, they're cheap, they don't take up much room. The problem is, eventually you're going to run out of fuel with it. But
so with matches.
yes, exactly. Or if you get matches wet, they aren't going to work. With this, if this runs out of juice, it still has the potential to be helpful because you can create a spark.
Oh, okay.
So I usually keep it around, or I'll take the flint right out of it. But like I said, these will run out of fuel eventually. If you're screwing around in your kayak and you fall out and end up swimming, they don't like to work either. So, but sometimes if you dry them out, they'll work. Other times it won't. So this is the first one. This is with everything. This will be my go-to just because it's easy. And like I said, you can use solar energy as a magnification. Use the sun's rays down through the water to help start the tinder on fire. We can't do it today. It's got a little dark. Tom and I were playing with it earlier. The next one, I found this by accident in 8th grade science class. My fellow students were very impressed, but the teachers were not, unfortunately. But this actually came in handy one day. We were out walking along the lake, some friend of mine and myself, and we got into a storm and we found a little cement shack that was out there. It was all set up for a fire. It had a fireplace, it had the wood, the matches there were wet, but none of us had any on there. But there was a radio out there that had some batteries in it, and somebody had stuck the steel wool into a rat hole to try to plug it up. So basically all you're doing,
Ooh, wow.
and you'll have a fire.
No, but how do you get the fire going? You put it in one of the chaga?
Yeah,
or?
you put it on some sort of tinder fluid. Even paper will work with it to get it going.
So you just need a conductor?
Some sort of energy.
Energy.
A battery, an outlet. Careful, that might be a little warm still.
So,
But it'll work. This isn't something I carry with my pack, but it's something most people have in their homes. In an emergency, you can use it. And it's definitely worked in the past.
can you show it again? That's so cool. Yes.
I wish, I don't know if I'm going to be around dark. A lot of people are taking, oops.
It's like magic.
What they're doing is putting it in a metal whisk on a chain, and you whip it around. You can make some really cool sparks and take great photographs of it. But that's all that is, and it works great.
So just steel wool.
Just steel wool.
How's that work wet?
I don't know. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Where's a good piece?
Dump some water on, a little bit of water on it.
Let's see what happens.
Just don't electrocute yourself.
Just wipe around in this stuff.
Okay, I can teach this too.
Scouts will learn it, Dan.
I know, but I want to see how it works wet.
What if you like blow into it to dry it a little bit? Put in your t-shirt to dry it a little bit, because no way. Almost, yeah.
Almost as well.
Yeah?
Yes. Oh.
Which is important.
Yes, it is. Definitely.
You can dry easily on your t-shirt or something, and there you go.
Next one
Very nice.
is magnesium type Firestarter. They're cheap. They're like $1. The problem with some of the cheaper ones in it, you could have some other metals. I bought 5 of these at Harbor Freight. I gotta stand up a little bit, guys. Sorry. I bought 5 of these at Harbor Freight. I took them in on the X-ray at work, and it turned out 3 of the 5 were more aluminum than magnesium, and that didn't work too well. So I kind of checked those.
So which part is magnesium?
This block itself is supposed to be all magnesium, and then the other end you've got your striker, just a flint. So what you're going to do basically is you take the magnesium part, and it's kind of hard to do like this. Normally I'll put it flat, and you just want to build a nice pile of it in a leaf or a wad up piece of paper. The key is to get a lot.
It's all going over here.
Yes.
Pile what? Oh, some little magnesium chips?
Yes, you want a lot of the little magnesium chips in there. Magnesium burns extremely hot, so
Okay.
it could start very wet wood. The wind's blowing it, which is a pain in the butt.
Okay.
Anyhow, you're going to get this nice big thing, and then you're...
Okay.
That kind of sucks. I don't like... Yeah, I'm going to have to.
So you can use a knife to work?
Yes,
Okay.
any sort of sharp
Oops, stand back a
edge.
little bit.
I don't want to use my blade, and it's not going to happen. Shoot. I'm not going to be able. I don't have enough.
Oh.
Use my shirt.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Oh, there you go. Woo!
Yeah, they're still
Very nice.
There you go.
So that knife works better. How come? Because there's groove on it?
You got a sharper edge.
Sharp, but he was using the back. He didn't want to use his edge.
I didn't want to use
Oh,
my edge
okay,
on my
okay.
knife because I screwed
So
up.
it's a sharper edge that will. What causes the friction? It's not the
That's flint and steel.
flint and steel. Okay.
Yes, that's all it is.
But-
The problem with these, you get a hacksaw blade with them, they're painted. So it kind of, it doesn't allow the bite of the teeth. I'll
okay.
normally take a grinder. This was a new one, so, and obviously it was junk. So you got to figure out ways around that. But that's the basic idea of flint and steel.
So anything that's metal against the magnesium,
As long as it's sharp, you got to be able to bite into it a little.
I'll bite into it. Okay. Cool. What's the next one?
The next one is going to be a fire piston, and this works under the same premise as a diesel motor.
Okay.
You guys can watch this. This will play. This is new.
Yeah, I like these a lot. I thought that was pretty cool.
So like a piston, like in a motor.
Yes, you're going to drive it down as fast as you can to try to create power.
How would you make a piston? You just need a metal rod. Like, so let's say you're camping, you see a metal
you
rod.
need two parts. You need a smooth bored cylinder, and you need a rod that would fit down inside fairly close to it.
Okay.
And you're just going to push down hard and fast,
Okay.
and that'll generate power. One of the secrets to it is you can push down hard and fast if you want. If you leave it in there, it'll burn up the oxygen and choke itself out. So as soon as you bottom out, or it shouldn't bottom out if it's sealed properly, you kind of want to slap and yank at the same time. So see if we get a little bit of chaga in there.
Wait, you have to put chaga in? Some kind of
Yeah, this is the
fuel?
fungus.
The fungus? Okay.
This is the fungus, and this is one of the ones that naturally occur
Okay.
that you can find on the birch tree
Okay.
without having to make some char cloth. And basically, you're just gonna.
Why is there a little plastic tube around that?
It's O-ring seal.
Okay.
When they first made them, they used wax-covered silk with the original fire pistons in there. Make that kind of cheap.
Okay.
So, and you're just gonna get it on a hard, flat surface. I missed it. You can see it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Ooh, very
A little
nice.
small.
Yep. It fell out. Let's see, another one in there.
Oh, so you put a little bit
Yep, you need
Chaga.
something to
to hold the fire.
activate the fire. You'll have
Okay.
the pressure,
Okay.
but then you need something to ignite. Oh, you got me all shaky from rolling around with these.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, very nice.
So that's that idea, and then I get it.
So what do you do after that? You have to flick it into a pile of.
You get it down onto your tinder. Oh my God, I'm shaky.
Oh wow!
You'll get it in there, and then you'll work your way up and catch it from there.
Oh wow! It looks really primitive, but I guess that's what you have to do when you're.
They use these like the old trappers in the Rocky Mountains would have
Yeah.
this, and they keep it around their neck, kind of.
Oh wow! That's why, because in the movies sometimes you see that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's commercial. You can buy them for like $20-$30. I need sandwiches.
But we need it.
Yeah,
Primitive, okay.
No, but if you're in the rain and you have no fire, you're like.
Another one that I don't have an example of here that you're probably more familiar is like a fire rod or the bow rod. I
Yeah.
can't do that. I've tried and tried and tried. That's something I need to work on. But that's another excellent way to create a fire.
But how would you build? Like, let's just say so what do you do? Like, okay, you can hang that around your neck when you're camping or whatever. But let's just say, how big does the rod has like? Obviously, there's a size that's optimum, right?
Actually, I've made it out of 1/2-inch PVC. I've made it
Really?
out of 1/2-inch copper pipe. As long as you can get a good airtight seal at the end, and the rod you can get in there very snugly, so the pressure can't escape. You got the potential to.
Okay, so airtight seal, and then you push down, and what causes the ignition? It's like
It's like a diesel motor, high pressure.
High
There's
pressure?
so much pressure down there that it creates heat.
really.
You just get it out, and if you have the proper tinder in it, it's going to catch.
So it's not the friction between the two rods.
All fire is
Compression.
energy, but compression is where you're
Really?
getting the energy
Oh
from.
wow. That is.
It's the first time I've seen somebody really use one. That's pretty neat.
Oh,
Me
it's,
too.
it's really cool. And like I said, you can get it all at HAP or any hardware store for about $4.
What, that, or you made that? Didn't you make that
I
yourself?
made that whole thing. Yeah, I kind of cheated with the piston part. I did it up on a lathe because I didn't have enough time to get it ready for this. I've got some other ones, but I wanted to show an example of how you can make it out of
People
this
make
stuff.
them out of deer antler and
Yeah.
all sorts of things.
Yeah,
Deer
yeah,
antler?
Exactly.
How would a deer antler work?
You make the hole into the deer antler, and then they use a metal rod that
Uh-huh.
fits inside of it. And they make them, they make
Wow.
it like they did in the old days. Then they would wrap it with some kind of string in order to get it the compression, like he was saying.
Oh, okay. So the string keeps that air tight.
Right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, it works as a seal.
Okay.
And you want to lubricate the seal with
Okay.
one thing or another.
Cool.
If you're out in the field, earwax, or if you have Vaseline covered cotton balls, use the Vaseline from that. It just helps seal all the little divots and imperfections in the metal when you're trying to create fire.
Cool.
And the last one we got before it rains is
Yep.
going to be a demonstration of an exothermic reaction. This is called potassium permanganate, or pot perm. It's used in water softeners. It's used in stump removal. For a long time, it was used in the medical packs of the military.
Can you turn the label? What is it?
This one's it's labeled as pot perm, but it's potassium permanganate. And it's a very corrosive material. You can mix.
Okay.
The reason it was carried in the medical packs is because you could take 1 or 2 crystals and be able to again purify water. I'm not gonna-
How many per million? How many per?
Well,
little
see,
couple-
this is beggars can't be choosers. I didn't get the kind I want.
Okay.
This is a little bit thinner, but it only takes 1 or 2 crystals.
Really, just 1 or 2 drops?
Yep, per liter.
Per-
See how it turned purple?
Wow.
That's a little too dark.
And that will purify water?
Yes, you want it as a light pink. Remember, if it's
Okay.
light pink, it's safe to drink.
Okay. Good to
Too
know.
much and it could be corrosive and it could be painful. This color right here, it would work as a great antiseptic. If you got cut out in the field or whatever, you wipe it on. A little bit darker and it makes a very good antifungal.
Okay.
Athlete's foot or any other.
Okay. But if it's really clear pink, then it should be okay.
It's good to drink. You
Okay.
want to put 1 or 2 crystals in per liter, let it sit for 2 hours, and it'll take care of all the bacteria and the viruses.
Cool.
So in my packs, I like, if at all possible, I want dual purpose equipment. So
Okay.
not only will this work as a fire starter, it'll work as an antiseptic, antifungal, purify water, and it also makes a very good fire starter when mixed with just regular glycerin. And glycerin is used in baking. It can be a light lubricant.
Oh, just turn the bottle a little bit toward me. Okay.
All this stuff is readily available. This is usually in the water softening treatment. This is in the pharmacies. What else is this used for? Lubricant, chapped lips, chapped skin on your knuckles. Again, it's a dual purpose. It's a sweetener.
Soaps.
Yeah, soaps, exactly. You mix some glycerin with ash in your when you're out cooking, and it makes a very good soap. Exactly, you're cooking fat. Throw ashes right in there, and it sounds counterproductive, but it really works to clean your pots and pans when you're out in the field. So what you're going to do, and this can be activated. You mix 1 to 1 with sugar, and you can dump a little bit of water on there. It'll be the same thing. It'll be a delayed reaction.
What do you mean sugar?
Just regular, I think confectionery, powdered
Okay.
sugar works better. And then add a little water, it'll do the same thing. You could also use,
So if you don't have sugar, you can add water?
I'm going to add the glycerin.
Okay.
But it can also work with a glycol, just a regular antifreeze.
Okay.
The reaction takes a little bit longer, but it's a little more violent. So I always thought this was pretty neat too. all you're gonna
That's
do.
okay.
Does anyone need to go back, or is it going to be pretty?
Not too bad. Ooh.
They'll catch fire?
So it's a chemical reaction.
Yep, it's an exothermic.
So what's with the stick? The stick. Oh, whoa! My goodness, it's like a MacGyver right here.
I didn't have another.
Oh!
And that is extremely hot. It's like lava.
Holy crap!
That is one of the quickest ways to get
Oh, it's like
Yeah, you can basically walk into Walmart and blow it up with the stuff.
oh, don't say that.
No, but that's an example of an exothermic. Yeah, an exothermic. And
Two
endothermic.
chemicals at Walmart, and you can.
But those are just some easy ways, because obviously you're not going to carry around this towel with you. And what I'll do is just take one
You gave me those two things. They're dangerous.
And it makes life a lot easier. You just put it in pliers.
What are we doing now? What's the straw?
This is the way I would carry. I'm not going to walk around with that in my backpack, and I'm not going to walk around with a light towel. So what you're going to do is just burn the end of a straw, seal it up, cut it to the length you want it, and you take a small funnel, dump in the amount you need.
Okay.
Take the other end. Oh my God, you guys got me. Light the other end, and now you have a waterproof container. You can do it this size, but you can do it with liquids. You can do it with solids.
Oh, okay.
You buy one of those disposable plastic syringes. You can fill it with toothpaste. Bring along a little tube with toothpaste instead of bringing the whole thing.
Oh.
But that's how I will carry around chemicals or whatever in my pack. Make 4 or 5 of them, dump it in. It's light, easy to go, and you're done.
Okay. Okay. So just regular straws, but
Some straws will work, others will not.
some will just snap and
But
crack.
they'll seal on the end, and
Okay.
it makes a nifty little waterproof container. You can put coffee in a single serve coffee. You can put sugar. You're gonna burn things down. Oh boy, we're gonna have to go through the fire safety, aren't we?
It's like, it's like
Let's burn some
Yeah, good. We'll have a heck of a bonfire.
that'd be cool. Not everybody wants to play with this.
Just remember, inside is not the place to practice your newfound fire-making skills.
Don't put it on the battery.
Put it on the bed.
Oh wow! So what would you do with this? You put that and then you
Put that in like a bird's nest.
bird's nest.
Right?
Ah, okay.
What? And there you go.
Cool.
I was surprised it works with
Hamstring.
water.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never
Seems
tried
like I
that.
learned it as a boy, and I seem to remember they said you could do it wet. So that's
Okay.
said,
I
I'm getting
kind of
ready to
figured
do
it
a
out
little
in
thing
8th
on
grade
it.
science class. Like I said, they weren't too impressed with it. But I liked it.
it's pretty neat.
And there's a bunch of other ways. There's no one right way. Everybody's got their different things. I just wanted to show some different examples of how
No, but these are life-saving skills. I mean, you caught in the cold, you're like, hypothermia. It's like, holy cow.
Well, that was another thing. I'm not going to get into it now, but they got
No,
the
but
rule of
you can do it with car batteries. You know, all you need is some wool. Yeah, and this metal wool can be found almost in anything, right? Steel wool, yeah.
Find it places.
They're probably all on a
Yeah.
subway or something on somebody's windshield.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And if you look up on Google, fun with lit steel wool, basically